Hi, everybody. Monday on Astral Oracles. I'm going to connect to the Archangel Gabriel on tuning into guidance. And it's also to understand this concept of guidance. I think sometimes it seems people have the misconception that guidance means directions or commandments. And of course, because we structure things in language, in like this binary mode of either or, where if something is said, it has a definite, specific content. It can appear like that, but notice that these messages and what they always underscore the entities is that the underlying thing is that they're actually trying to um, widen your acceptance, your spaciousness, in order to be able to take in more of your higher self. And that is the guiding frequency, because that's when the immortal self shines through our actions and our being in this world. It it just feels completely right. And I'm sure you've had that experience in your life where, like, you just feel like this is what I'm meant to be doing, like this is where things are aligned. And in meant to, that doesn't mean that like there's a specific script written for you that you need to figure out. It's somehow about harmonizing all these parts of existence into an expression that is fully aligned with the different layers of reality. And there seems to be some kind of restorative or healing process in that. And that is essentially what we're doing down here, at least in the very Gnostic sense, is that we move into the world, and by that we get to have the journey and the discovery of who we actually are. So through getting lost, we get to be found, and in that way we perpetuate the great divine game that the universe is playing with itself, hide and seek, right? So it's this idea that, yeah, explore the world to return to where my soul begun. It's that place where you you feel that you are connecting to something that, for want of a better word, is original, is you, is true. And Gabriel is, of course, the angel that appears in different traditions, but Christianity and Islam, he's a big deal. He kind of shows up and announces some stuff that's pretty significant to the further unfolding of events in those religions. So let's try to connect to Jibril, to this great angel, the divine messenger, and see what he can tell us about being guided and about connecting to this truth of ours. Much love to you. And there's if you're watching this in real time, there's a live stream Sunday with the Elohim. It would be great if you were there. Much love, guys. The angel blows his trumpet. And that is the expansive declamation, the announcement, the soul expanding itself, the breath allowing for the body to grow in its feeling of space, in its feeling of being at home with itself. Fear not, human beings. I am the Archangel Gabriel, From the throne on high I descend, and I step into this realm to let you know that there are many paths laid out for you, and none of them are wrong. Laid out, I say. Who then can have laid out these paths for you? Was it the one in the divine throne? Was it his messengers, scurrying from one place to another, trying to keep everybody on track, coming home, showing up on time, turning up to the great dinner party, the great birthday celebration, the celebration of the cosmic birth, the great festivity that takes place in the high heavens as we celebrate that existence is, that this creation is, that it can be. Where are these paths then? Who laid them out? Where are they leading? And how do you follow? Sometimes you hear of this concept of the higher self, the self that is still you, but higher, above, removed. Could you think of it as the eager self, the self that does not waver in the enthusiasm of walking down these paths, that much as the child who cannot wait to get there and to arrive is always eager for the next step to be taken, for the next road to be walked on, for the next maze to be explored. The eager self, this is something else than the ego self. The ego self, always apprehensive, always thinking, if I walk down this path, if I take the next step, will I stumble? Will I trip over? Will it lead me to another dead end? It will not lead you to a dead end, because the ego self is already dead. It is all that it is. The ego self has no existence except from barring the path of the eager self, of the higher self. The ego self seeks to control. It seeks assurance. It wants to know that if I do this, then I will not have done anything irrevocable. And yet, there is a deep misunderstanding at play if you think that reality itself is not irrevocable. This is the love of the divine word. This is the Logos that speaks from creation to end. It is the allowance for things to run their course, whatever course that may be. And in the ego self, it seeks to arrest, to nullify, to abort this process. because it is already death itself. Death as the only means of control, death as the only certainty that is given. And death itself only exists in limitation. To us, the angels, and the divine eyes with which we see, to us, there is no process that ends without another beginning. There is nothing going on that will not keep going, and therefore it is only in this arrested step, this fearful hesitation, that you feel the pang of misery, that you feel the pang of death. You know this very well from your life, that whatever misfortune may befall you, when you fully and totally accept it, and when you resolve to be in this situation, and to allow for its momentum, for its path to carry you onwards, there is nothing really to fear. There is the further engagement in life. There is the expansion of trust, faith, love, of connection and belonging, of knowing that life is in place as it moves from place to place. And this is the quality of guidance. The quality of guidance, as you may very well know from your own life, it doesn't come forward as the instruction that, well, maybe on October 15th you should aim to open a ice cream parlor in specific address, and you should offer these flavors, these varieties, and you should charge this and that for them. It is rather you tasting the sweetness of ice cream and then experiencing how that calling for some people becomes a type of loving engagement in life, a certainty that there is something worthwhile doing down here that they want to explore and expand upon. And this is also what so many of these voices coming to you from the beyond are telling you, that as soon as the energy is correct, the definite circumstances, they set themselves around this positive energy. So maybe it will be one flavor or maybe it will be another, but it would be depriving you of the sweetness of exploration, of discovery, indeed of the mystical, surprising quality of joy itself, to command you what kind of flavors belong in your personal ice cream parlor, where your personal ice cream parlor is best situated, whether it should be a truck that you drive around the neighborhood, or it should be a place that people visit and enjoy the sweetness on site. So, are you a portable miracle? Or are you a sedentary miracle? Are you a miracle that grows in place? Or are you a miracle tumbleweed that looks simply to be carried off and there to lodge yourself when the time is right for new growth to happen in unknown circumstances? These are all the qualities and the intuition of guidance. And when in doubt, you can always use that wonderful quality of imagination. You can conjure up the different alternatives, the opposites, the counterpoints to where your heart is carrying you, and feel the dissonance they offer to this harmonic resonance that grows. Because there is so much sweetness to serve up from your inner locales, from this rich space that you hold. This is where all guidance emerge. This is where all guidance speaks. This is where it is heard. It is by tuning to the soft serenade of your heart that you know where you should go, or if you should not stay to discover what is there where you are. We, the angels, we only come to support you in this, to remind you that you are loved, that you are embedded in this wider, unending, ceaseless structure of connection, life itself, love itself, with no boundaries, with infinite resonance, with harmony aplenty, with sweetness, with joy, and in service to the all that is, to the divine love that upholds and creates being in this moment as in all moments. Follow that and allow yourself to be guided. Allow yourself to simultaneously listen and sing. In ceaseless, unyielding, unchanging, relentless love, I come to you. I have been with you, and I have spoken this day. I, the Archangel Gabriel, the divine messenger, on behalf of the Most High, I bid you farewell with our infinite gratitude for your bravery in being, with our blessings for all that you build. Farewell. It was a very beautiful energy for me to hold. I hope it served you out there in whatever ice cream parlor you may be be opening in your life at the moment. So much love to you out there, guys.